Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 with BlackICE Mark II. Okay, we're of course playing as England. I am concentrating my overseas army up here. And then we're going to send them, go to Dunkirk. Another tank factory, great. Air Force size average. I deployed a bunch of air units. Well, we're getting close to possible war, likely this year. Now, we are going to, our first big threat is Germany, and that's on the land. So, although we very likely may be changing to naval power people later, I want to start looking at some division attrition, army regrouping. Okay, army regrouping helps the recovery rate, and that would be very good. If we lose battles, get back into it, or even in between battles if we win. So well, do we have this yet? No, our next option, I think, is January 1, 1940 is Allenbrook. He died, I believe, so. Okay, so let's army regrouping. And, okay. Listen up. Go over to Ritchie's army. Yes, let's go. Okay, multi-altitude flying, good. We want to have all of the air combat kind of benefits we can get. Fortunately, fighter sweeps, of course. No, logistics bombing, air superiority effect. That's good. I just want to check here. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with this. Artillery level 4, good, and vehicle level 4. Guns! Move out! Okay, the fate of Czechoslovakia. You need to get rid of that. What they have is like a highlight overlay or something. That's creating that inner box shape. They need to get rid of that. For this, then it would look better. If we have to have bad colorization, don't need to make it any worse. Ready to move. Various mobile divisions. Thinking if we can sort of hold here, though they'll probably turn the flank, so I don't know. I don't trust the French to hold down here. Move out. Now I don't know if how much you know about river defense and different philosophies. One thing I read long ago, and it sort of intrigued me about river defense, that the way the Germans wanted to defend a river, and maybe not so much something big like the Rhine, because that is a very major river, of course, but more of these sort of secondary rivers. And in this game, there are two levels of rivers. There's, I guess, this level over here, and then the big Rhine sort of level rivers that would include things like, you know, the main channel here for the Nile or some of these other rivers. You're supposed to generally be able to tell that's wider than this. So these are the secondary levels. But this also includes, or often more, what you would think of as a river that's not on this map. That is something that could do, you know, a simple single span bridge going across. Some place in the world you might call it a stream, but something that is maybe just unfordable by, in most places, by a tank, but is fordable in some, you know, getting across. The German philosophy is to put the force, if we're defending from Germany, is to put the force on the far side of the river, and have the river to the back of your force. And that isn't so much like to keep your troops from being able to retreat back across the river. What's that to do is that if you get hit, say 3 places along the river, that there's an attack, it's not always apparent to the commander where the real main blow is. And even if there's, say, like 2 or 3 main places, they may be attacked all along the river, and again, it may not be apparent as to where the main blow is coming. What they wanted to do is to have your force on the far side of the river, spread out along it, holding, with a central reserve behind it, so that if the enemy is able to push through to the river and actually cross the river, you know that is a serious point. Because if you get 3 reports saying the enemy's attacking its very strong force, you know, the way people are reporting, they may report 3 different levels of attack, all as the same levels, because each of the guys out there don't know how bad the other one is. You know, the commander is reporting it. So this is on whether it's like a company level with a reserve platoon, or a divisional level, or a corps level. It all works this way, is that they would prefer to be on the far side of the river with the sort of main force spread out along it, holding the front, and a reserve that they could detail to where the breakthrough is happening. Because the German idea is that if the enemy is at all really prepared and it's a serious attack, they're going to break through the front. That is because to defend everything is to defend nothing. So not that they're not defending the whole river length, but to put your whole force out and try to keep it from ever coming across, it means that you will not be able to concentrate. The enemy will be able to pick the point of concentration and will be able to win at that point of concentration. So the mobile defense is designed to come in and smash into anything that's starting to cross the river. So that's sort of what I'm going to try to do here, with having some forces on the far side holding
Ready to move. Move out.
the front, if you will, and get entrenched. And then
Move out. Orders.
here have a reserve that if I think I can, I will try to move it forward. And that's sort of what that is going to be for. German Reich claims Memel. Alright. Don't know why we're having Romanian tanks. Those are French tanks sold to Romania. Image. I guess I don't know, I find it weird, especially now that they've gone to the more horizontal style images. They have so many lovely images for BlackICE that if I were them, I would be using. I don't know, maybe they feel they have some sort of conflict of interest between who made them and what they can use them for. I know the very few, and trust me, it's like I think less than 5 or something, just a few that I contributed to them. I'm happy for them to continue to use the things that I contributed to them. I contributed them to a non-exclusive continuous use for them, meaning I get to use them if I prefer or if I like, want to do them. Okay, so we are, as somebody pointed out, yeah, I should have been researching both of these earlier. Lysander. I don't know. Their attack. Ground attack. Ground attack 14. Yeah, I never really think of. I think of the Lysander more as a short takeoff and landing type aircraft that was used to drop partisans behind the lines and other sort of, but also sort of like a Friesler Storch type. At least that's how I normally see it. Not that they can't put bombs and attack the ground. So I think we're going to do that. Or not Blenheims, maybe Blenheims. Yeah, let's get Blenheims going. Ground assault. Now that's something I do want to keep researching to have. Okay. Have as best we can. Let's see. Do we want to go infiltration? 10% is a nice bonus, but these two are the same in many ways. Well, they both enable the same tactic: elastic defense and blitz. The more tactics you have for the battle computer to cycle through, the better you are at doing it. Now, obviously, the bonuses to like organization and recovery rate are very useful as well. Infiltration assault. That's, in my mind, what the sort of the stormtroopers were doing of World War One. Overwhelming firepower. That's very good. Sort of an American kind of thing. Infiltration assault. That already just proves that. Night attack. Overwhelming firepower. Breakthrough. Central planning, speed, organization, night assault tactics, armored operation tanks. Those are good. I prefer to have that over here. Branch inner operation, okay. Yeah, I think we'll go with this. So, yeah, I think we'll go with this. Integrated convoy defense, very good, very good. Instead of continuing this, we are going to come over here and do the Hurricane. As well. Aircraft factory level 8 reached. Need to build more tanks. Okay, these are these light African divisions, which I'm looking at them as a decent template for duty in extreme environments, like Malaya, so we're building some of those. Okay, Supermarine Spitfires, great. Now, let's get this as our, I guess, decent CAS fighter. So, now's the time, I think, for aircraft now, especially that we got this Spitfire. That would be this guy here we need to convert over to Spitfires. I'm just going to start with the standard fire. Just get that into production. Yeah, it's hurting our production levels. We're going to wait for the next upgrade of pre-war cast, and yeah, we're going to wait for both of these, and probably we don't need both of them actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Why do I have both? Maybe they were both in production at the time. One of these I'm going to convert over to Hawker Hurricane. Probably the hot. Well, one of these. Once we get that, just swap it out to that. Okay, this guy we are going to. Let's. Here. I'm trying to keep all my ship models straight here. Okay, so now I want to keep producing the tribals, but I also want to produce the J and Ks. Depth charge 9. Depth charge 13. Yeah, I want to keep, because the tribal are better sub hunters. I want to keep those in production, even though they're quote-unquote outdated. Let's see about moving 3 more divisions. I want these guys, these infantry units, BSA company, to be ready to go into Belgium. Yeah, I'm aware. I don't know how well the AI is going to do it. I am aware, obviously, of the von Manstein plan, and that's why I'm trying to keep something of a central reserve here. Hopefully keep from being cut off. Radar. Research bonus for radar. That would be lovely. Fortify these. That can sort of kind of wait. Naval doctrines. That would be good. A lot of good things to do. Built New Zealand would be good, but air rearmament, much more air bases, bomber command, fighter command, or coastal command and fighter command, yeah. Radar technology bonuses would be nice. Let's do that. Because I am anticipating losing in France, but I'm gonna hope and see what we can do to hold out and win. Well, I don't know win, but hold out and see how long we can do it. Great. And army size is now large. Okay. We formed the 45th Infantry Division in the Territorial Army in 1939 as a duplicate of the 43rd Wessex Division when another European conflict with Germany seemed inevitable. Okay. Supermarine Spitfire. The operational history of the Spitfire with the RAF started with the first Mark I's, the number which entered service with the 19th Squadron of the RAF in Duxford on August 4th, 1938. The Spitfire achieved legendary status during the Battle of Britain, a reputation aided by the famous Spitfire Fund organized and run by Lord Beaverbrook, the Minister of Aircraft Production. Although the key aim of the fighter command was to stop Luftwaffe bombers, in practice the tactic was to use Spitfires to counter German escort fighters, particularly the Bf-109s, while the Hurricane squadrons attacked the bombers. Yeah, both aircrafts are good. They're both very effective. Just the Spitfire, I'm not an air power guy to know in detail, but it was generally the better maneuver fighter. And the reason to keep both in production, even when you're sort of strained, they use different production techniques. So you can do that, and it's useful to do that. Keep them both in production. Okay, decryption analysis, that is good. But we are going to, I've already got that. Would love to, but we'll get a couple bonuses for this. Coming, well, Alexander, I'm not that worried about getting. Not that I won't at some point. I think we can do this Sutherland flying boat. Yeah, let's do that. Get that one. That's a good flying boat. Not quite the range of the Catalina, but bigger payloads, I believe.
Orders! Move out! Attention!
That to Montgomery.
All in!
That to Ritchie.
Attention!
Be another. Montgomery's gonna max out pretty soon here. Keeping the home army under Ironsides here.
Ready, sir!
Oh no, Lord Gort, sorry. I sometimes get mixed up. Okay. And it's the first of the month. Good. Okay. Well. Let's finish this. Not that we're not going to use subs. I think we are. But I want to get these guys in production as a better oh, and that's also because our carrier is finished too. Would be here. Yeah, I want to get some more destroyers out there. Well, oh, keep forgetting I want to check first. Oh, let's get to the top. This is a long list. Okay, light tanks or cruisers. We're gonna burn through both, so let's do light tanks first, and then cruiser tanks. Add one. Factory. And then once we get another factory, we'll put that as cruiser tanks. Okay, we can produce some more steel. That may become necessary. So let's build another steel plant. Yeah, up in Scotland, up there. That looks good. And oh yeah, come here, down here. What are we sort of deficient in? Heavy aircraft factory for more bombers. We got lots of light. An ammo factory would also be good too. So let's do ammo factory and a heavy aircraft factory up in New York. Now, Partial mobilization. That would be good, so I think we're going to wait for that to come about. We're definitely in the world tension enough to do that, so I'm going to wait on improving.
Ready!
Okay. Get them going over there. More troops, more units. Okay, advanced machine tools. That is good. A lot of good things. Just switch one first. Factory output is increased on most of these. Division speed would also be nice. Okay, we maybe should do this instead. Just seeing low manpower. 1-year draft. Recruitable population. Okay, so the factory output is lowered considerably. Yeah. Yeah, and some other things, but I think, yeah, we're going to do that instead. Doubles our manpower. I think it's needed just eventually, one way or another. There is, of course, we'll probably get there, do some of these, increase the age brackets a little bit and things like that. Yeah, that would be good. Well, wouldn't be bad too. Yeah, not as big a jump. Okay, plenum finished. Good. Now for our that's a long time. That's a little less. Maybe we'll do Hawker. Carrier fighters. Now we can do the famous swordfish. Improves torpedo bombers. Okay.
Ready!
Let's put these guys to increase our sort of reserve there. And there's the Hawker Hurricane. And construction.
All in!
Yeah.
Move out!
Now that we have this here, we can do this. This is, as you can see, about 100 days less. So, yeah. Oh, it's 1.5 years ahead of time. Okay, well then I'm gonna wait. Don't really need to push it that far. So, well, this is the other thing we should, of course, be doing. Matilda's 2s. This is what I always think of whenever I hear Matilda. Thanks, and I want to see about continuing our production improvements. Yeah, light aircraft improvement, And more and more and more production. Yeah, well, like 12%, so that's not really a good place to build in. Just trying to build some stuff a bit out of the way. Okay, let's increase here. We might as well get some better air coverage. And wait for a while, I think. Yeah, probably all right. And now that we got done with those subs, I think. Okay, we will fully build out. Oh, what? No, that was fully got done with the battleship. Okay. Yeah, let's build more King Georges. There we go, and that's up. That'll give us. Factory level 5, good, and Hawker Hurricane Mark 1. The maiden flight of the first production aircraft powered by the Merlin II engine took place on 12th of October 1937. The first 4 aircraft entered service in the RAF, joining Squadron 111th Squadron RAF at the RAF North Ult following December. By the outbreak of the Second World War, nearly 500 Hawker Hurricanes had been produced and had equipped 18 squadron. Okay, so we're way behind on our production of more modern fighter types. That is not good. But let's convert you over to the Hurricane, just the basic Mark 1. We're still waiting for that, for a CAS fighter replacement. I do think we need to build a few more, military factories. Okay, there we go. That's sort of what I was waiting for here. There we go. Get that into production. Now, how are we doing? Okay, we are here on the tactics train, but let's yeah, we need to do that. One thing as the more I play this, and I'm not entirely reconciled to the Hearts of Iron 4 research style setup. theoretically, these slots equate to the amount of leadership that you had in Hearts of Iron 3, but of course you could stick some leadership over in diplomacy. Obviously, we don't have spies yet, and they've stated publicly that they are going to do intelligence someday with Hearts of Iron 4, but they want to do it right and not just throw something in. So I have no idea what they're going to do or what it's going to look like. Not trying to even hint that I do, but it's going to happen. And I don't, like I say, don't know what it's going to look like, but they're really sort of wanting to go in and do it right and not just throw in some sort of thing or try to just duplicate what was in 3. So that's what they're looking at doing, and then obviously helmet, your officer level. So that was all sort of mixed, so you can move it around. What I would sort of like is, and I think this is to some degree what is some degree what was sort of in 2, but I've never played 2, so I may be mistaken, is sort of research institutes. And like a technological institute, and it could be, and different nations could have different sizes or multiple technological institutes, however you want to do it. They research, say, technology type issues, particularly, like electronics, and that's in my mind. And then another one would be aircraft research institutes, so that you can't go from researching all slots. Okay, every slot is going to move to aircraft, research a different aircraft model. And then once all those are done, then we're going to all jump over into tanks. And then we're all going to jump over into doctrines. No, you have, how good, and also the schools may vary in quality. So you may have a ground school, tactics school, an air tactics, and a naval tactics school. And depending upon various factors, nations may be able to research new ground techniques better or worse than each other. So that's how I would do it. So break this up so it wouldn't. So the research for aircraft wouldn't fight with the research for better production. But I'm not thinking like, oh, we get to do it all at once, everything. No, it's just where do you want to do? How much industrial research slots you have is how fast you can do and where you pick to do it. Because if you look, especially now, well, I'm very much looking at the BlackICE model here, is you have all of this going on here. Are you going to be researching over here now? Let's say if you're the U.S., you may have 4 industrial research slots, so you can sort of research everything. But if you are I don't know, Guatemala, you have none because you have no basic production abilities. And so you have very, very limited industrial capabilities. And there would be, somebody like Belgium may only have 1 industrial research slot or something, pick your thing. Okay. Now we're going to wait again. We've got the manpower sort of sorted for the moment. So we're going to wait until we can get to better production. So we're going to wait till 200. Okay, infantry equipment. Republic of China, no deal. Okay, we will see if we can help out the Republic of China. Oh, why did I do that for? There's no Republic of China. Oh, well. That sucked. China's capitulated. Well, that didn't work out so well. That was a BS thing. Okay. I thought I was, sort of help them out a little bit while they were still fighting. Should have looked up a little more carefully. Oh, well. Okay. This is the heavy fighter model of the Blenheim. And light bomber. Yeah. Those bow fighters, they're an interesting fighter. Probably require bow fighter. Maybe that's, I think, something with radar or something, maybe. Light Bomber versus bomber. And it'll be good to just start producing that. So we're all the way down to here. Building airfield, undersea blockade. Building fortress, yeah. But anti-air upgrades are nice. Anti-tank upgrades are even better. I want to be able to stop the panzers as much as we can. Naval production, okay. Just 2 slots, got all that sort of maxed with that. Southampton light cruisers. Yeah, let's stop transport ships. We've got a fair number. I mean, just complete that last one. And we have 2 of those. Tempted to go back to more submarines, but an illustrious would be nice. Another one with expression, so we expanded the carrier deck. Yeah, we'll think once, well, we'll just presume it's done now. Battle cruiser? Heavy cruiser. I think we'll have a few left over there. Just slowly start. I do want to expand my naval production. Uh-oh. We having game problems? Well, it looks like we're having a bit of a game problem, so I'm going to end the episode here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. I really do appreciate that. And please post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas. I'll see what is the problem if we can continue, hopefully. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.